So what's up, everybody? I wanted to just start this live off by saying rest in peace to Alpo. Regardless of the situation, he still was a spiritual being, human being. And, whenever anybody passes away, this is just part of the game. So I just wanted to take this time to show y'all the power of astrology and how life could kind of play out according to the stars. So check this. We're going to start it off by saying it like this. If you didn't know, Alpo Martinez, a.k.a. Alpo, legendary drug dealer from Harlem, was a Gemini, right? He was a Gemini sun. So it kind of makes sense because he was an excellent communicator. You have to be if you're going to sell drugs. And coming from Harlem, you already know, if you're not from New York, Harlem is like a planet within itself. So you got to have a certain lingo. You got to know how to move. You got to know how to definitely communicate. And he clearly did that to great success, where he had a criminal network that went all the way down to Atlanta, to D.C. He was moving around. He was also fluent in Spanish because he was of Latin descent. And that's what Gemini is really about. Quick thinking, quick moving, always on the move. And you got to be that to definitely be successful as a drug dealer. Then his moon was in Aquarius. So, of course, once again, he knew how to connect. He knew how to get down with people. He knew how to definitely unite people, and to control people and be in the top of an organization. You got to know how to connect and definitely do what you got to do to make these things happen. Next, he had Cancer and Mercury, right? So he talked with his heart. He thought with his heart. So that's why he was able to move around once again and sell a large amount of drugs. He even ended up becoming an informant. So he clearly put his desire and protected his home base first, because Cancers are all about home and they speak from the heart. So he protected his emotions no matter how nobody else felt. He definitely always standed on his truth. You may not agree with it. You may agree with it. It is what it is. Thanks for everybody in here that's tuning in right now. You already know. So, what else? Oh, his Venus was in Taurus. So if you know anything about Taurus like to eat good. They like nice things. So that's why he was always flashy. He had to be fresh to death dressed. Newest wear, newest bikes, newest jewelry. Like, he always had to be sharp. And Venus definitely represents the things that you like and the things that you love. You feel me? What's goody, my guy? So that's another thing that you got to understand about him and why he was super flashy. When you have Taurus and Venus, you love the finer things. You like the nice life, and you'll work hard to get it. Unfortunately, he did what he had to do to get it, so he was able to show that Venus energy stronger in Taurus. You feel me? Then he had Mars and Gemini. Pardon me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Then he had Mars and Gemini. So if you know anything about a Gemini, they are quick-witted. They are fast. They know how to communicate. So his sun sign and his Mars sign was in harmony. So his actions was always on point with his mind. So he had to be quick on his feet. He had to know how to move out here. So another thing is, Geminis get bored quick. So because he had it in Mars, all his actions had to be quick flight, quick move. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of things real quick. So he was always moving around the town, and you could tell by that he was always antsy and stuff like that. Even though he was on witness protection program, he had to move back to Harlem because Geminis have to prove something. You know what I'm saying? If you tell them they can't do it, they're going to secretly have a desire to move forward and do it. So because he was in Mars and Gemini, the actions of a quick intellect man is what you saw, and it definitely helped him out. Next, he had Cancer and Jupiter. So his luck had to do with his heart, his emotions, right? So as you know, Cancer is an emotional sign. It's a water sign. So he had a really, really, really good intellect and intuition on certain things. So that's how he was able to move around town once again and do what he had to do. And the fact that he protected his own self and his family and the people that meant something to him is where his luck came into. So I'll see how that connected later down with Saturn, because his demise was tied into him protecting himself. So the actions that you do affect your home all the time. So that's how his luck ended up being in Cancer with Jupiter. Next, he had Pisces and Saturn, right? So if you know anything about Saturn, that's like the lesson teacher. That's like your grandfather that show you what you got to do, right? So because it's in Pisces, all his dreams and aspirations was connected to his empire. So that's lessons that he had to learn. How do you manifest and make the dreams that I'm feeling come into real life, right? So, of course, he came from poverty, you know what I'm saying? And his dreams was to change that, and he did that. So he made sure that his dreams taught him the lessons that he needed to learn to get the life that he wanted. Unfortunately, sometimes your actions connect in where you are, so you can't always get caught up in your fantasies and your dreams and stuff like that, because that's what Pisces do. Pisces is the most imaginary sign in the zodiac, and they know how to manifest their dreams, right? But sometimes they could get caught up in that dream world. So that's another thing that led to his demise. He kind of thought his image was unpregnable, you know what I'm saying? He thought he couldn't be touched, because sometimes when you believe in yourself so much, it can make you a little bit delusional, right? So next he had Virgo and Uranus, right? So you could tell all his lessons had to come with him being very precise and calculated in what he wanted to do. So it's slow steps to make expansion, and a Virgo will sit down and plot its very move, every step, every way, right? So you could tell he was a very calculated brother. He controlled his fate up until the end. So you can't mess around with Virgos. They're very precise. So that's what tied into his whole Uranus and Virgo energy. Next, we got Neptune and Scorpio, right? So Scorpio is another water sign. So now if you know anything about the water signs, Cancer, Scorpios, Pisces, they're very mystique. They are very mystical. They have a lot of imagination, and they can feel things before it happens, right? What's up, family? You already know. They can feel things before it happens. So a Pisces will trust their gut till the end, right? And because it was in Neptune, right? And then Scorpio is the most mystical sign. Pisces is the most imaginative, right? So because Neptune is affiliated with Pisces as well, in a way, I'll break that down in another video, he definitely tapped into things that most people couldn't see. And if you know anything about Scorpios, peace and love, you already know. You know that Scorpios could almost feel shit 10 steps ahead before it even happens. So shout out to the Scorpios as well. It's birthday season, right? So that Neptune guided him and tapped him into a lot of different things that most people couldn't see. And that's why he was able to be successful at the way he was, right? So next you got Pluto and Virgo, right? So remember, Pluto is the ruler of Pisces, right? And that's the thing. You could see, as I've been saying, like, Pisces is very powerful in how they move around in their imagination, right? So he was able to will his imagination and keep himself fully engulfed in what he wanted, right? And then that Virgo and Pluto gave him the focus and motivation to get what he wanted to do, manifest what he wanted to be, you know? So you got to be careful when you're playing around with a Virgo, because they're very calculated, right? And because it's in the mystical sign of Pisces and Pluto, it gave him almost like etherical powers in that sense to move around. And I'm not just bigging him up because of what he was. I'm just saying off of facts. You don't become so powerful if you're not connected to the dark side, right? Because the dark side fuels the light, right? So he was able to tap into maybe energies in places that most people would be uncomfortable with. He was comfortable with it. So he was able to trample and step over hurdles that most people couldn't do. So if you know anything about a Pisces, they're very resilient, right? And Pluto rules Pisces. So he was very resilient. He wasn't scared of shit. He was down to do shit. So don't be fooled, man. He was a very mystical guy, man. That's why he was able to get to where he was at. Next, his North Node is basically what he came here to do, and he came here to be a Pisces. So his Pluto calculation and his Pisces energy fueled that communication in the sun with Gemini. So he was really built for that lifestyle that he chose, right? And then last but not least, he got Lilith and Chiron both in Pisces. So his demise came from believing that what he wanted to achieve was bigger than the actual world. And unfortunately, Chiron also represents healing, right? So because he had Pisces and Chiron, his imagination and dreams is something that he never got to heal properly. And that's a big lesson for Pisces to learn from too, is that you always have to keep one foot in reality and always believe in that dream world, because that fuels you and it gets you where you got to go. But you can't get caught up. You got to stay grounded from time to time, because people will take advantage of that, and people will catch you slipping because you definitely are not thinking that things will go bad all the time because you have faith in what you feel and what you believe in. So unfortunately, Alpo lost his life. Regardless of what he did, he was still a human being, as I said in the beginning. So I just wanted to show y'all how astrology could kind of play out in your life, whether you like it or not. It all ties in. So rest in peace to Alpo. I just had to break this down real quick and show you a little bit of an example. If you want to know more about astrology and stuff like that, just keep showing love, keep showing support. I'm working every day to put this information out there, and I just felt, because of the current events of what's going on in our life in this crazy time, I should touch on and show y'all that nothing happens by accident. Everything is kind of shown in the stars. And yeah, we lost a legend. We lost a father. We lost someone who put on for New York. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't a saint, but he was a human being, and he lived by his decisions. He never backed down from it, even till the end. And sometimes, like I said, the things that you choose to do catch up to you, and it caught up to him. So peace and love to his family and the people that care for him. And that chapter is done right now. It's over. It's over. So I just wanted to do this quick live, man. Everybody have a good day. Thanks for everybody who stopped. Thanks for giving me attention. I got some posts coming soon. I'm going to definitely do another video touching on the whole signs of Paid in Full, the movie that was basically actually made about his real life, right? So look out for that. That's coming soon. Everybody have a peace and blissful day. One love always. I'm out of here.